friends, it's the Fat Man GM. Once again, revisiting my small collection of Judges Guild material. This is, it's a paperweight my wife got me some while back. I'm not sure where she found it. Fantastic Wilderlands Beyonde by Judges Guild official game aid for the Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Comes with 4 17 by 22 inch Judges campaign maps and 4 player campaign maps, i.e. things like this nature, although not these specific ones. This one was 7, 8, 9, and 10. And produced in 1974. Approved for use in 1974. This particular song was copyright 1978. Printed in the United States. Designers Bob Bledsaw and Mark Holber. Abbreviations. See, each one's a little different. But you can see, if I find the oldest ones to the newer ones, you can see an evolution of style change. But there's a lot of pretty much the identical stuff. In this case, here's a bunch of NPCs, locations at castles and citadels, lurid lairs, desert lands, and idyllic islands. Lost Island. The sleepy little village of Orange is tucked away in the middle of the island, but at night a light salty breeze causes the women of the island to go insane and attack anyone wandering out of their huts. It is rumored that a beach-long ship will reflect the moonlight off of its silver-plated figurehead of a giant goat towards a buried treasure of gold and silver shark teeth. Gold and silver shark teeth. Here, a barbarian female is changed to a 50-foot stone pillar standing in the center of a collapsed village. Living in the stone piles of debris are 14 clerics of an ancient cult. In a dry well nearby, a poisonous giant snake is sleeping. The well is lined with skeletal remains of many victims. Okay. An ancient cup-shaped altar stone carved with the image of the lions made out of granite stands atop the highest bluff in the area. Ruins of summoning permit one person to summon a rock. The rock will obey the person summoning him for 3 weeks. Now that makes sense, right? We're going to have a stone carved with the images of lions, but you can summon a rock. Yeah, come on, guys, you could probably tweak it a little better than that. Images of flying rocks. Okay, well, maybe not. Let's see, a boulder carved into the shape of a baby dragon is nestled over the active source of lava deep below the surface. At any one time, there's a 30% chance the dragon's mouth will spew forth superheated steam via an iron pipe connected to the cavern of lava and dripping water. This superheated steam will leap forth 60 feet and cause 8 to 48 points of damage. Saving throws applicable. Yeah, that's always nice. Besides a guardian int in a small clearing stands a black 3-legged cauldron. The cauldron is full of boiling mud and is sitting in the bottom is a pair of pearl dragon eyes worth 4,250 gold pieces each. Knock that int down and get yourself some dragon eye. And Sea of 5 Winds campaign map 8. Sea of 5 Winds villages, castles and citadels, and or nice locations. A wild band of warthogs that will only attack along the cliffs of the southern shore. A loud whistling sound is made from a petrified tree as the wind blows. A small gully of flowing mud that acts as quicksand divides the island from east to west. An old raft with broken oar is washed up on the northern shore. The Andaman Isles is fertile and densely populated with edible vegetation. A band of chaotic pygmies inhabit the islands. The pygmies forever carry out the will of the insane wizard who won their favor by performing huge fireworks displays for them. 10 deformed dwarves hide among the rocks on the northern side of the most island. A wrecked merchant ship contains barrels of salt having washed up on the shore of the southernmost island. Oh. Unlike pygmies, it's a good thing they're not cannibals. A golden sword worth 4,980 gold pieces is stuck in a marble block covered with elvish runes. A block is partially buried in the earth, and 2 dwarves, armed with hammers, are vigorously pounding on the block trying to free the sword. They will attack anyone attempting to get the sword. Negotiations, anyone? A large stone pile marks the crypt of a long-dead king atop a rocky mound. Beneath the layer of stones are a pair of double-banded iron doors. Then the crypt is a large silver urn worth 1,240 silver, 2 wooden statues of berserkers. The urn contains the ashes of the king and a ring of stone to flesh. If the urn is removed from the marble table on which it sits, the statues will animate and attack the zombies. Yeah, that makes perfectly good sense. Why wouldn't you do that? Conan, or somebody quite similar. His lady companion. A gigantic ivory vase worth 4,980 gold pieces. I like how they got these really kind of oddball numbers. Painted with red dragon designs, is half buried in silt. The vase has a hairline crack running down one side and will break if not handled carefully. What? A petrified true troll, as opposed to a false troll, has toppled off a pedestal made of green marble in a damp dell. Upon the pedestal stands an altar sandstone with the inscription denoting 6 diseases: measles, mumps, typhoid, jaundice, plague, and leprosy. In front of the altar are 6 gnomes inflicted with the same diseases, chanting passionately. Once every full moon, one chanter will be healed of their affliction if they chant under the proper inscription. Okay. "400 statues of miscellaneous creature types are arranged along a broad, paved avenue raised above the sandy bottom. Statues are all life-size and made of granite. Make for an interesting visual encounter." A large glass jar is chained to a large stone block. The jar contains living liquid which will gladly answer any question telepathically, with a probability of 56% of accuracy if released in 1 year. So apparently this jar was such a threatening thing that somebody decided to drag it out in the middle of nowhere and to chain it to something to keep it from doing whatever. Okay, so if you take the chains off in the air, what's it going to do? Is it going to ooze its jar away, or is it just going to dissipate or turn into something? The unanswered questions. Lurid lairs of the Sea of 5 Winds. 90 wild dogs, or 30 giant fish. 2 cactobal pos. I have no clue what that is. The Elephand Lands campaign map. 9 Elephand Lands villages, citadels, towns, Isle the Hoary Head. This island is the southernmost of 3 islands in Deep Rock Lake. It is under the protection of Kali the Hasty. The island has no ports. In the center of the island are gathered the sum total of its population. 83 people in the island live in a communal society. Farmers, craftsmen carry on the trade of people, the leech and the cauldron. The island is a giant wildlife, so on and so forth. Well, here's a bit of artwork from my childhood. No, I'm going to speculate that was for some. It would either have been from one of the space opera games or from my friend's Traveler, because I mean it could be also for Judges Guild, but I don't think. Yeah, it could. What if I use the solar batteries? 2 front-mounted Mark 12 blasters, and it's possible. Interesting things you find stashed away in these old books when you haven't seen or looked at these. I mean, honestly, some of these, it's the first time I've looked at them since 30 years, easy, 25 years. Cobblestone road leads to a broken down cottage. Eating utensils and parts of a cloak are scattered about the floor. A ghost lives in the attic. Where else would the ghost live? The cobblestone road? Okay, that's possible. Lenap campaign map 10. See, you have to watch because it doesn't. These things show the early evolution of how the game stuff was laid out, and sometimes it just segues from this to one to the next, and if you're not careful, you might think you're still working with the same material on the same map. And we got the Lenap Analytic Isles. The island is known for its many varieties of tropical fish of unusual shape and configuration. Many of them possess a tongue similar to frogs and can reach 5 feet out of their strings and pull unwary under the water. It's a big fish. Some have iron-sharp fangs to tear and rend armor. Some can speak a common tongue, and others can fly 15 feet per jump. A particularly desired variety covers its small torso with a coat of pearls cemented together with a rubber-like saliva. Sounds like a little bit more than just fish. Definitely something going on there. Small invasion force of 3 war galleys has gathered here to provision their ships. The island is especially lush and filled with game. Spall Manor sits on a sloping hill on the north side of this island, which is inhabited by a witch. The beautiful witch will attempt to turn anyone not having a charisma of 16 or above into a halfling unless she needs some geist assistance at the moment. Probability is 35%. Okay. I guess she doesn't. She thinks turning people into halflings somehow or another is funny. Yeah, I think a couple of these have been repeating themselves from one of the early ones. It is what it is. Lurid lairs. 23 giant spiders. 22 giant leeches. There's that 30 giant fish again. The booty list. Stuff that provided or produced by Judges Guild that you could purchase. Quite an extensive list. It's getting bigger by the minute, or the year or day. Treasure vault from Judges Guild. I always like them. I find those things interesting. But there you have it, my friends. Fantastic Wilderlands Beyonde. The only thing left I have is the city-state of the World Emperor, which I will do on a different week because I really want to kind of glance through it a little more. And then I'll be moving on to, like I've been saying, past this Star Trek for the handful of people who care about that sort of stuff. This is the Fat Man, and I appreciate your attendance to this thing I'm doing. And keep in mind that, if you like it, share it, flag it, tag it, subscribe, unsubscribe, tell your friends, laugh at them, tell them to laugh at my crap, whatever works for you. This is the Fat Man, and you're not. Till next time, game on.